into gameplay here, and he's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here. We're closing it out here in the clock tower, so another recognizable location, but this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way.
What we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of like juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them, and that's how you access all those.
Oh man, it looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah, so this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
so you
pull those combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome. Good job, Andrew.
And that's just against the dummy, but I mean...
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of your classmates. But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation because they've got you up against 3 people.
3, off the jump.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we kind of put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all this control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in. But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, you know, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here, win this duel.
Look how fast it is. It's like a dance.
Yeah, we really felt like in the movies, there's almost like a...
The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
You may begin.
Fraught with dangers, creatures corrupted by a magical force, powerful goblins, and sinister witches and wizards, all willing to fight, even kill, to achieve their own goals. In fact, there's an uneasy alliance between the goblins and dark wizards. Enemies possess unique defensive and offensive abilities, including blasting curses, stunning spells, enchanted weaponry, and more. While some may attack directly, others might enchant and incapacitate you. Mastery of the shield charm allows you to deflect ranged spells and direct weapon strikes.
Defenders! Opposed us!
Counterattack with powerful stunning charms, allowing you to follow up with extended spell combinations. Students who become particularly adept at spellcasting will find many ways to exploit their enemy's weakness. Slam with Descendo. Roast with Incendio. Devastate your enemies using various finishes. You can even use the mysterious, powerful magic your professors do not understand to obliterate your strongest foes. Mixing and matching dozens of spells will let you define your combat style. On your path to become the ultimate duelist. Spells, plants, and potions to increase their power. Decide which talents best fit your playstyle to allow you to focus on your favorite types of magic. Increase your power when you need a boost. Grow and deploy magical plants to mob the battlefield and keep your enemies at bay. You can even unleash deadly mandrake seedlings to incapacitate unsuspecting enemies. May be taught to you by students who become your friends. As you develop relationships with these schoolmates, they can accompany the village on your journey. You must avoid them or defeat them. combat mystical threats, the world as well. Dungeons and vaults hold perilous threats and also untold rewards.
Avada Kedavra!